Happy morning, happy Monday. What's going on, guys? I was watching a video interview by Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's partner, and Warren Buffett is one of the most renowned investors history has ever produced. And when I heard them, it was very interesting. In Christianity, in some Abrahamic faiths, there is a concept of seven deadly sins. Seven deadly sins. Seven sins that you should not commit, that you do not commit. And some of the seven deadly sins are wrath, extreme anger, lust, jealousy or envy, pride, gluttony, overeating, overconsumption of alcohol. All these are seven deadly sins. But here's the funny part. Jealousy is part of them. Jealousy is one of the seven deadly sins. If you look at all the deadly sins, if you look at all the seven deadly sins, if you look at also in other cultures, the value systems that we have, we are told not to do anger, not to overeat, not to indulge in gluttony, not to indulge in lust, etc., etc. Jealousy is very interesting. You know why? Because to be honest, when you're committing all the other sins, when you're over-consuming food, it gives you pleasure. There is an aspect of pleasure that you derive while indulging in the sin. Let's be honest, yes? When you are prideful, when you feel pride, there is a pleasure associated with pride. You feel good when you are being prideful, even though it might be considered a sin. Jealousy is one of the only exceptions, and it's a very interesting exception, where while committing the sin of jealousy, you don't even feel good. It's not even pleasurable. In fact, it makes you feel worse. And it makes us as human beings wonder, why are we jealous? Why do we get jealous? Because in all other sins, when committing all other sins, and all going against all other value systems, whether it's indulging in a lot of pridefulness, whether it's overconsumption, gluttony, whether it's anger, there is a sense of pleasure in anger, because when you get angry, you feel this release. Jealousy is very interesting because it doesn't even make us feel good. Jealousy makes us feel lesser. It doesn't give us pleasure. In fact, there is pain when we feel jealousy, and yet we engage in being jealous. And I thought that was something very interesting. So how and why should we get out of jealousy? How can we exit this trap of jealousy, especially in today's day and age where we have so many more chances of being jealous, to be honest, because we have the whole world on our phones, and you hear about everybody doing cool stuff, and everybody is showing like they're doing cool stuff.
Hey, good morning, Swagata. How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me over.
Oh, I'm so happy that you are here and that you can introduce us to the concept of jealousy trap, because I am very curious to learn myself. So Swagata, we spoke about jealousy, and I spoke about, as you heard, that it's an interesting sin to commit, even according to religious concepts. What do you think about jealousy, and what is the jealousy trap?
Okay, so when I discovered the jealousy trap, it was not an overnight discovery or an eureka moment or something. It is something that I came to understand over a period of time. And it's something that actually, like you said, it actually makes you feel very displeased with yourself, and you don't feel good at the end of it. You're not happy with those negative vibes that come, and it sort of complicates the relationship with your friend or with the other person. Something that we can avoid consciously. So in order to avoid the jealousy trap, there are three things that I consciously choose to do to avoid the jealousy trap. And so hold on, let's go with it.
So guys, three things you can do to avoid the jealousy trap. Okay, let's go, Swagata.
Okay, so in order to explain the first step, I would just like to point out to a certain conditioning, to a certain reflexive action that we all do. And that is when we see someone doing better, or we see any person in general, the first thing that reflexively comes to our mind is something that we are taught to think about. For example, we see someone very healthy, or we see someone very skinny, we'll end up saying, oh my God, she's so fat, or he's so thin. And this is something that we are taught to think about. But what we think immediately next, it defines who we are. Like, so what if he's fat, or what if he's skinny? Like, he might be a good person. He's an amazing person. So based on these choosing to think about a certain thought or about a certain person, can we take our first step? And that is when we see someone better in life than us, when we see someone more skilled than us, or we see someone in a better position than us, we can choose to think about that person instead of bringing ourselves into the equation. For example, if I see someone as a better speaker or as a better singer than me, I can choose to think, wow, how many hours might she practice, or how many hours might he be practicing? Who might his gurus be? What might he do to train himself so better? Instead of pushing me into the equation, saying that I wish I could be like him, or I wish I could have done that, I will choose to think, I will consciously choose to think about that person and how that person is doing good in life instead of comparing it with me. So this is the
Okay,
first
so that's a
step.
little deep.
Choose your thoughts.
That's a little deep, huh? So the first, what you're saying, if I'm grasping it correctly, is the first thought that comes to our mind. It's a part of conditioning. It's autopilot. It just happens. But where we can break the jealousy trap, where we can break the cycle, is the second, third, or the thought that we become conscious of. And in that thought, don't bring I in the picture, that I want to be like them or I wish I could have that. In fact, you could cut off the I part and just speak about them. So they are great. They are doing amazing. And if you just keep it that, you disconnect from the jealousy trap. Is that correct?
Yes, perfect.
Wow,
This is exactly
that's a
what I
pretty
wanted
deep
to say.
insight, Swagata. Awesome. Okay,
Thank
so then we
you.
have the second step, you said.
Yes, and the second step gives me great pleasure to speak about, since I can see a lot of my friends have joined into the live. And the second step is
Amazing.
absolutely based on that, is choosing your friend circle, because it's very important to have people in your life who choose to stay away from this jealousy trap consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, in any possible way. It's very important to have people who will celebrate your success, your good things in life without comparing it to theirs, who will wholeheartedly celebrate where you are right now without pushing negative vibes because they might not be in the same position as you are right now. Or it's something that they choose to believe in you instead of pushing themselves in that position where I wish I could be like you, or it's a very complicated relationship, and they choose to ignore that and they celebrate you. And I can understand in this, especially in this lockdown, if you don't have such friends, especially now, if you don't have them. So what is the solution then? The solution is be that friend. Be that friend who is absolutely celebrating the other person's success, without bringing yourself to the equation, without being jealous. This is something that you can choose to do, and you can see the change in your friend circle happening. You can see that energy change. No negative vibes are happening, more positive energy is flowing across, and this is something that will help your friend circle grow better. You will push each other to do better in life, and this will be very amazing to go ahead with. So this is absolutely the second step, is choosing the right friend circle.
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. If you have jealous friends, you'll probably have a jealous future. But that's awesome. Okay, second step is choosing a nice friend circle. Awesome, Swagata.
Okay, and the third step is basically when you choose to be competitive instead of being jealous toxically. Because I can understand if you don't have friends, or you don't have that position in life where you cannot be jealous. When suppose you are trying to find a job, or you're going through a bad time in life, and you see people around you doing really good in life. So that time, this is human nature. You won't be able to stop yourself from feeling jealous. So at that time, what can you do? Like, it's not always possible to choose your thoughts because you're going through a dark time. So at that time, what you can do is choose to be competitive, see why that other person is doing good, draw from their life, draw from the things that they do, and you can choose to be that instead of being jealous toxically. Instead of pushing bad vibes across that person, instead of complicating your relationship with that other person. So you can choose to be competitive, and you can, encourage each other in the same way. You can draw from their life and get ahead together instead of, jealousy pulling you down and pulling the other person down. It doesn't have to work that way. So this is the third step, is choose to be competitive instead of being jealous.
That is awesome. To sum up, what are the 3 steps? Swagata, could you walk us again?
Sure. The first step is choosing your thoughts, pulling yourself out of the equation and not compare yourself, but think about the person, why that person might be doing good, and let your train of thoughts lead with the other person's victory or other person's good things that they're doing. And the second step is choosing a friend circle, friends who encourage you, friends who don't compare themselves with you. And if you don't have such friends, be that friend. And the third step is choose to be competitive when it gets tough, and choose not to be toxically jealous.
Wow. 3 steps to exit out of the Chakravyuh of the jealousy trap. That is awesome, Swagata. Thanks for sharing that with us. And finally, do you have something of your writing, since you call yourself a wordsmith, that you would like to share?
Sure, I do have a small poem that I wrote when I was starting to get consciously aware about this jealousy trap. So the poem is based on navigating around the right journeys when there are, jealousy traps all around. So there are deep waters all around you, and the ship that you're sailing through is your deep determination to stay away with it. So away from it. So here it goes. I saw her wash ashore, carried by 1,000 sun-kissed waves, floating over a bed of memories in a ship bolder than all. I heard she navigated over the dark waters with the light of a star 1,000 light years away, yet so close she was aglow with its scorching existence. She lowered down her anchor and laid down a mapless chart filled with lessons of the past. The oceans lusted for her heart, beating higher than the ship's mast. She walked back to the waters and smiled at pale gleams of reflections of the future. Done and dusted with the unforgiving journey's pain, she has finally found land and is ready to unleash her bottled up hurricane.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is so beautifully written. Swagata.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Swagata, thanks so much for being part of this Monday morning message and coming and sharing with us how to exit the jealousy trap and a beautiful poem that you wrote. Is there anything that you would like to say finally?
No, thank you so much for having me here, and thank you so much to Ankit also for inviting me on behalf of you. So this has been amazing. It has been a beautiful Monday morning in a long time. So thank you so much, and let's choose to be aware of the jealousy trap and push each other forward.
Amazing. Thanks for making us conscious of exiting the jealousy trap. Have a great week, Swagata. Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Guys, Monday morning message. Exiting the jealousy trap, exiting the Chakravyuh of jealousy trap. And jealousy is one of those 7 deadly sins, even according to religious concepts, that don't even make you feel good. Unlike other sins, when you commit them, you at least feel good. At least there is a pleasure associated to it. And Swagata came and helped us to figure out how we can try and exit the jealousy trap and not be part of it. Well, wishing you a happy Monday, an awesome Monday. Welcome to the first Monday of the rest of your life. We got 1 more month and probably 4 more Mondays in this year. We'll make it happen. Amazing. Much love, guys. I will see you next week. Same time, same location.